Yo, what is going on, guys? It is me, Harlox, and today I'm going to be doing another video. Now, this video is going to be, as you see by the thumbnail, it's going to be opening door mechanics and stuff, and I'm going to show you a tutorial on like how to actually build that for yourself. Now, here, I'll just show you how the doors work. So, I basically have a piston that slides them in position, and that works for the other side as well. Let me just show you that. And basically, now that they're slid in, slide, words. Once they basically slide in position, you basically have these servos that basically turn them and stuff. So I'm gonna get inside. Hold on. Do some. All right, so I guess I'm gonna show you them opening and closing. So I can read. No, here I'll extend the pistons. So basically, I have both doors. They can function like this, and basically I bring them in with the pistons, retracting pistons now. Basically, they just open up like this. And say if you want like a tighter rotation or whatever, you could always what's it called? You can always like change the servo angle to make it like not open up as far. Without further ado, I think that's about what. Well, without further ado, that's gonna be the video for today. And I'm gonna go into the tutorial on how to build it. And if you like the video, consider subscribing. It's free, and I really appreciate it, so I can make more epic videos. Alright, so worst case scenario, my doors are like right here are inside the Humvee, like actually attached. So we're gonna have to get rid of that. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side where the piston extends. So basically I have to get the doors separated. So I'm gonna place a block underneath. Doesn't matter too much, get a piston. Rotate it so it's facing outward. Just let that extend. Alright. Now I want to place another block and make sure, since this will be attached to the roof, or the bottom top of my Humvee, I want to scale it so it doesn't touch any of it. Now I'm going to extend this out a bit. I'll probably do it one more time. Scale like this. I'll make it a little nicer. Alright, so now I'm going to actually connect this piston thing to both the doors here. Alright, so first I'm going to make like a beam. I have to make two little poles that go into the door since I want the actual doors, not the entire freaking wall. I'll be removing a lot of this after, but this is just to get the doors away. Alright, nice. Now, alright, so now I can place alright, now you're gonna place a chair. I guess right here works for me. This doesn't matter too much where it is, you just have to, well, I'll show you. This will be important, because, first we need to figure out, like, what the piston extends, like, where the door position will be, like, how far away it will be. Alright, now I'm gonna anchor my entire build to the ground. I mean, like, yeah. Now I can unanchor it. It might be a little laggy. Alright. So now what I want is to make sure the piston can extend. So right now I'm going to be removing everything around the door. Alright, so everything is pretty good right now. So make sure there's like a large gap so that way you can get your servo. Well, for me, I'm going to be using servos. And or if you wanted to use like hinges and like piston door opening door, but I'm going to use servos. So I want a little bit of room. And now I'm going to have to delete like the edges of the door. You see over here, I have like this nice little like door frame, and this is where the actual door kind of slides into there. Now, well, I want to make sure this block is actually inside of it. Alright. I guess we could save this. And now, yeah, let's start deleting the wall thing. So you want to make sure nothing's attached to the door. You want to be able to move the door with the piston, doors with the piston. Well, that doesn't matter. If you accidentally delete the door parts, it doesn't matter, because we're just trying to get the right position. Let's see if I can actually move it. Alright, this is good. Alright, so now with the side, I want to record like how far away the doors are from this. That way I can move this all of the chair to the right position. Alright, I guess I'll just use this. Okay, that's the edge. Let's go up by 2. 1, 2. Alright, I'm gonna start writing down how far away I scale it. So 1, 2. Scale by 2, 3 times. Scale by 1 time. One, 2, 3, 4. And I scale it by 0.2 4 times. And I think we'll go back 0.05. Minus 0.05. Alright, I'm going to double check that one more time. Alright, everything seems to be good. Now I want to make sure that this is perfectly, like, just barely touching it. Alright, that looks good. Actually, I couldn't ask for better. That looks fantastic. Alright, so now I think I cut off a few pieces for the door, so now I'm going to reload it. Alright, so now what we need to do is, well, first off, we're going to rebuild the pole thing we did to build out. That showed us where the door should be before touching, like, the thing. Alright, so I'm just going to do it here, exactly like where we put it last time. So if I recall, we use 0, we use scale by 2 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Then we scale by scale by 2 3 times. We use scale by 1 1 time. And 0.2 by 4 times. And minus 0.05. Alright. Now we can save this. And we can actually just bring it all over to the stages. We're going to have to disconnect everything again, but trust me, it'll be worth it. Might take a bit, so I'm going to speed up the video. Alright, so now you want to be careful. So the door we're going to be taking is going to be the actual door itself. So we do not want to damage any of the door. We just, yeah, because we're going to be taking that and putting it here for the actual, like, door. So we do not want to make any mistakes. Alright. Alright, I think everything is loose. No, I guess some things are still attached. Oh, wait. Alright, so I guess the doors are ready to go. Alright, so now we just take the entire door set and just bring it with us. We snag a few portals. So now we're basically just duping the doors. And I'm gonna go through my portal. I'm gonna go through my portal and put the doors exactly. So basically, we want the edge of this to go into there. So basically, they should be almost touching each other. Alright, so now here's kind of a tricky part. So now we're gonna place the chair exactly where, like the exact same row that this was on, but we just gotta figure it out which row. I probably build an anchor block, thankfully. Alright, and now we're gonna try to figure out which row we need to build this on. Oh my god. Send my platform. Okay, we're gonna have to move it by a lot of blocks. Here, to identify it, this is where we want it to be. Nope, we're gonna move it a lot more. So now it's basically just guess and check. I would say move it by 0.5. Ooh. Alright, so now I'm going to scale this up to make sure everything looks normal. I think this just might be it, so I'm going to anchor it all. I'm going to pop out of my cake, and let's check. Alright. So there's another way to check if this is perfectly lined up at all. I'll show you guys how to check for that. Now, visually it looks alright, but there's another way to tell. So basically, here I'm going to be scaling this away, because I don't think we'll need it anymore. But I'm going to keep it just in case something happens. Alright, so now, basically I don't need this right here anymore. Nor that. I'll keep that chair. And if I extend it, and we can actually place a block. We can attach it like that. So now this piston should be attached to this, which should bring it back here. So now I'm gonna paint the, let's see, I'll paint the glass things. And if when these pistons go back and if there's overlap, that means that's exactly where it should be. And that was where these doors were before. Well, it visually make it look like these doors were there before the piston and stuff came. So now, let's see. It has to be unquiet everything. Alright, now the door should be fully non-collision off. Now we could save this. I guess we can test it out. Doors may fall off. No? Alright. So now we could bring back the piston. Now, let me take a look at this. Alright, I see overlap. That's a good sign. That means exactly where they should be. Yeah, I see all the Z fighting. Alright, nice. That means they're exactly where they should be. Yep. Alright, now we're gonna reload it. And now the mechanics and stuff. Alright, now this gets a little more intense. So, here comes the mechanic-wise stuff. Mechanic stuff. Here comes mechanic stuff. Here comes mechanic stuff. Alright, so we don't need this, but we can just scale it down for now. I might use it later. And I don't think we'll be needing this. Alright, so now, so here's a thing. So now the doors and stuff, they're gonna be opening. So where the hinges are, or like the door opening, that's where you want the turn off max rotation actually, since my doors are tilted in. So now we're gonna build it in the middle of like the door itself. So I'm just gonna find so right here is the middle point, that little dot where my cursor is at. Now we're gonna try and make this exactly this in the middle point. So whatever you do to this side, we'll do to the other side. Alright, that looks good. Alright, that looks also good. So I'll just scale this up, scale it in a bit. And we can bring this down a bit. Alright, nice. Since these doors are perfectly lined up already, we might as well just copy it. Now we just scale this into the other door. Alright, I guess it's nearly perfect. Let's scale this up by 2. I'm gonna take a look at these and see if they're all good. So right here, imagine there's a circle here, and this is where the swinging is gonna go. Alright, so now I'm gonna start with the servos, I think. Nothing more than I can really do with these. Maybe I'll try to make them identical with the swing animation and stuff. Now I think I'm gonna start with the servos. Alright, now place your servos. Or I'll just place them like that since like that. I guess I can move it. Right, let's see here. I want to bring it down by one servo. So here's the middle of this so the middle of the what's it called servo, like this block, the light gray part right here. The middle of that is like where the actual turning mechanic is. So this is exactly in the middle, so it should be all good. And let's see over here. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. Now, I guess we just connect everything up to we don't need this piece anymore. Here, let's just use this to connect the servo. Actually, we don't need this. We just scale it all out. Alright. Now, yeah, now it's pretty much done. Now, we're going to test the actual door opening mechanic. Now, when we unanchor, that's about what we want. This will be the actual turning. I can't complain with that. I'll scale it in. Alright, it may look buggy now, but that's because some parts are not collision. For example, if I probably should scale this into the ground. If I turn off collision, it'll work, and if you want the wider doors, you can just change the servo angle. This is really sharp. Now it's almost done. As you can see, there's another door behind that. It's like, oh, scale. Alright, so now I'm going to reload everything. Alright, now, this is the easiest part. I guarantee you there shouldn't be too much trouble doing this. Now, everything is set up perfectly. And now, now you just have to delete the doors. And just so that these will fit in perfect. Alright, that seems to be all the door itself. Now everything here should just perfectly line up and go into there. Fix this. And now you see I have little tiny gaps and stuff, but you can always fill that in with just adding more tiny blocks. My rotation. Well, everything here seems to be fine. Now right here I can replace that. There. I think everything is replaced. This side looks good. This side looks good. Replace the paint. Looks like nothing ever happened. There. Alright, now I'm gonna collision off all this right here. Actually hide that after too. Just to show you guys the mechanics and stuff. Alright, now oops, and bring that in. Yeah, that looks good. Except for the door handles, but other than that, I think everything, the door is fine. Only problem is this right here, which you can fix if you place other blocks, but for now I'll just let it be. So this is the door opening, and yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Only downside is this. I can fix that, but maybe that could be for another thing. Alright, so right now it works pretty good when it's collision off. Alright, so now instead of manually clicking all these parts and like turning them off collision and stuff, what we can do is just this. We can place ourselves as cake. For one, I'm gonna clear and go over the stages because if I like collision off, collision on everything, these threads will get mixed up and my thing will get a lot laggy. So now what I'm gonna do is just uh unanchor everything and collision off everything. So what I'm gonna do is uncollision a lot of this. That way it can stay connected. Actually, we can go back this. Alright, since I'm not gonna manually uncollision all of this, I'm just gonna bring this back. Alright, get rid of the piston. Alright, so you see that all this is non-collision, even like the handles and all that stuff. Basically, we're gonna delete all the other stuff and replace it with this. Now I want to go back. You keep that chair. Right now, I should be able to sit in this chair, and that'll be exactly where it once was. Now I can anchor it. I can move this as the counterweight. Alright, now I believe everything is connected. All I have to do is save. Alright, now everything should be fine. If I unanchor, well, I had this doing that glitch. Let me reload it. We unanchor everything and we'll click this piston. Alright, it's going in. Don't need that. And now, should the doors open properly? Yep. Alright, now the doors works. It looked complete. Uh, and before you save this, make sure, what's it called? You save it when the pistons open out like this, because if you bring it inside and save it, everything will fuse in. It'll be really annoying to fix. Now these doors work. It's basically the same as that. And without further ado, I think that's the end of the video. Hope you guys all enjoyed.